Good morning. Anyways, so you had asked about holographic stuff today, so I had found some reference points. So we're going to take it like a sphere. So we're gonna start off with like a mid-tone-ish color. I think this is mostly gonna end up being the actual like darkness of it all. I'm going to grab some of this white color and use a soft airbrush and just kind of hmm, there we go. It's like, where is it going? Okay, so I'm just going to shade. Sorry, my cat has problems with me leaving and going places. So I'm going to put on a clipping mask just so we can add some of this color back into it. So the way that it works is like that of a rainbow spectrum. If a certain thing is bent one way, excuse me, hello, go away, go away, go away, go. If something is bent a certain way, so let's take a look at these reference points over here. So this is bent this way. So you can see that the colors kind of follow that same pattern, and because the chest is up like this, it's following that same pattern. Same with down here, and the same goes for this. So we've got this line right here and this line right here that shows curvature. So it's very shiny. It's going to show any sort of imperfections whatsoever, show where things curve, show where things bend, and then create some sort of like rainbowy effect on top of that. So whilst doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start off by grabbing a pink color. Generally, pinks are things that show up, but what I'm not going to do is just go in and draw lines. What I'm going to do is just kind of go along this white here that we have and just paint it in like so. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to take a bright yellow color, I'm going to make it a little smaller and just go around like this. And then generally in the shadows, it seems there's more of like a blue pigment. So I'm going to take that blue and pop it down here. And they've got some like brighter blues, so like this teal kind of color. And then just pop it right here. Maybe a little bit over here. And maybe some over here, but like a brighter blue. I'm gonna take this dark gray and go around the edges again. Then I'm gonna take this bright white and just kind of really go to town with that highlight. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of follow this reference over here and take a yellow and make that as like the bounce light that's happening over here. So it gives it a little bit more of that shine. Okay. Then after that, if you want to draw like a seam, what I suggest is just starting off with a line and just kind of like, let me grab a flat brush and just taking that bright white and just kind of following along. get it down here. Okay. And then you're going to take this darker color and just kind of follow right alongside of that seam we just made. Just follow right along that. Just like so. Kind of looks a little like a crack. That's okay. Then we're just going to take from the corners and just pull a little bit. So like this. And mind you, because we have these folds now, because of the curve that we are making, we're going to end up taking this white and really emphasizing that curve, so, or that fold. So you're gonna take it and just go like that, and shade that, then boom, 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 then go through. And if you need to, you can blend out some of those harsher lines so that they kind of look a little bit more like clothes instead of just lines coming out of this thing. Okay, and I'm just going to take from this holographic color up here, so this bright yellow, and I'm just gonna go right along this seam and these colors over here, because holographic stuff is very like bright and in your face at times. Not all the time, but at times it's bright in your face. So now I'm gonna take this white and just pop it back in there. It's really about like pulling and adding, pulling and adding, pulling and adding in terms of like holographic clothes. Because you never know what's too much, what's too little. So like when I look over here, it looks really good, but it could use some definition, and we'll add that definition here in just a second. I'm just going to do this. But because it's holographic, we've got to remember it's really, really shiny. Really, really shiny. So all this darkness that we're adding is just going to be taken away and replaced with, you know, that shine factor. And don't be afraid to have references like these and pulling from the image itself to get colors. Like, that is not a bad thing to do whatsoever, especially if you're new to the game and you're trying to figure out your color scheme and what works best for you. Do what you need to do, even if it is taking colors from an image. It's not stealing. You can't trace back colors that are taken from an image. Alright, and then that blue right there. And I'm going to take this white color and kind of pop another shine down here. I love shiny things. I can draw shinies all day long. And personally, I've never done holographic clothing before, but it doesn't seem like it's that difficult of a task. Alright, and I really like this blue color they have right here, so I'm going to try to pop that in like over here to give it a little bit more. I keep using that word definition, but really it's just adding colors to it at this point. So like holographic is all about having that rainbow and all that good jazz, and you know, having the rainbow is probably the most important part. So get that rainbow in there. Make random lines. Do what you gotta do to get that rainbow in there. even like keeping it kind of messy works too. You don't want it completely like straight, and you don't want it completely like blurred out and pretty, because this isn't always going to be a pretty task. Even adding some yellow in there might make that look really pretty. Okay, and then what I like to do after this is done is just go ahead, take that layer and flatten it. So merge those layers so it's all together on one thing. Because if you do this on a separate layer in Photoshop specifically, it's not going to work out that well, and you're going to have colors just all over the place. So what I like to do is take, for like holographic shiny things, you're going to want to take a darker blue, go up here, select that airbrush again, go in here and grab color dodge. Color dodge will help emphasize some of those colors by lightening it up, really just making it pop and look shiny. So that adds to that holographic effect that I was talking about. And it really just makes all of those shines just pop. And if you're missing some of that yellow, you can just go back in with a yellow color dodge and just pop it in. Or maybe like go back, you know, like it's up to you and how you want to do it. But personally, I think this looks quite nice. Add some of that yellow back in there because yellow looks really pretty on holographic anything. Except I want that bright yellow. And just like that, you've got some holographic pieces of clothing. But like I said, if you wanted to make shadows, all you have to do is kind of just like find that pinch point where it's at, draw a line, and then blur that line, and then add that next to it. So it ends up making it look like a seam, clothes, folding. But like I said, definitely take a look at these references, and go as far as you can with these references. So don't just stop, like keep going with these references. They may look kind of intimidating, you know, but the references are only here to help. That's all that they're here for, is to help. So definitely take advantage of that. Use those references, exploit them, you know. Just be very careful with how you use the references. You don't want to just straight copy and paste from up here and call it a day. You want to, I'm sorry, my cat. She missed me. Okay, I was at my mom's. You just want to look at the reference and try to emulate that as best as possible. Also, I wanted to point out that some of these like reddish colors are based off of the skin tone. So if you've got a skin tone that's visible in your piece, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this skin tone and kind of like mess with it a little bit, bring it down to those pinkies, because I love pinkies. I love pinky skin tones. And just pop it in there. Pop it in there, because that adds that dimension back to it. Like, oh, this is next to a skin color. That makes sense. You know, that sort of thing, versus like not having it at all. And then just kind of draw little lines in there. Same with over here. Just kind of draw those lines. As if, you know, like it's actually like holographic. Just draw those lines. Alright. And And here you have it. That is how you go about doing holographic. Like, clothing, it's kind of a pain in the ass, all things considered, but it looks really pretty when it's done. I really hope this helps. Also, you didn't wake me up. You didn't. I just don't sleep. I work 5 to 1 in the morning at Wendy's, so yeah, I sleep until 4:30 in the afternoon and then get up and go to work and then have fun and live life and cry a little bit every time I go in. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. We're just out here trying our hardest. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Um, yeah. Take care. Bye.